This movement has come a long way since the first big police crackdown more than a month ago in Oakland, California, when police fired on the crowd with tear gas and flash grenades. That night, a projectile, we still don't know exactly what kind, struck a 24-year-old young man named Scott Olsen in the forehead. It fractured his skull. What happened? Scott Olsen had previously served 2 tours in Iraq as a lance corporal in the United States Marine Corps, and as he put it, he had emerged physically unscathed from Iraq. But Scott Olsen was hurt that night in Oakland, California. He was really hurt. His name became a rallying cry even as he began his long march toward a full recovery. Last week, he was finally well enough to join Occupy Oakland again. And Scott Olsen joins us now tonight for the interview. Mr. Olsen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's really nice to have you here. I've been looking forward to the chance to talk with you.
Thanks, Rachel. Rich to be talking to you.
How is the recovery going so far? I can hear that your speech is different than it was before, but you're speaking clearly.
Yeah, it's different, and it seems to be getting better most days. Some days are better than others. Some days aren't. But I feel like I'm getting better.
The night that you were injured in Oakland, why had you gone to Occupy Oakland? What was motivating you to be there?
Well, I got off work and saw a tweet on Twitter, and that Occupy Oakland needed help. They needed support, and I went over there to join them.
Do you remember the injury or any of the time after the injury?
I remember the whole night. I remember getting to there. I remember standing with the other veteran, Josh, in Navy Blues. I remember even after I got hit, I remember people carrying me away and driving to the hospital. I remember just about everything.
Are you angry about what's happened to you? Are you angry about what happened that night to the other protesters, but also to you in terms of this grievous injury?
I'm not happy about it at all. I wouldn't say I'm angry. It's hard to know where to direct the anger. But it's sad to see that it continued going on, and all our rights are being trampled upon.
Since you have been recovering, what's it been like to go back to Occupy Oakland?
It was quite a bit different. What's the first thing I noticed? But I was well received there, and I liked being back there.
As a former Marine, as an activist, as somebody who's obviously committed to this movement, what do you think tactically about the fact that so many of the encampments are getting kicked out of the public space that they have been occupying? Police raids happening all over the country. Do you think that an outdoor encampment is critical to keeping the pressure on, to getting your message out, or do you think that this thing evolves now?
I think it's in the process of evolving. Some cities' occupations might stick it out with an encampment. Some are gonna move on to taking over foreclosed homes. Some might go to internet-based occupational flash mobs. And I think they'll all be successful. They each have something that they bring to it.
Scott, I think that seeing what happened to you, particularly because there was so much cell phone footage, very personal handheld footage of people around you when it happened, people seeing what happened to you and knowing what happened to you and learning about your personal story, I think radicalized a lot of people. I think a lot of people went to Occupy events who wouldn't have gone had they not seen what happened to you. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I'm glad, I guess, that what happened to me got people more involved. If that's what it takes. I mean, it's sad that occupations have started out as politics and economics, and now it's turned into something more based on the rights, the freedoms that we were all told when we were growing up that we had as Americans.
As the movement goes on, you've obviously made a commitment now to speak out, even as you're continuing to recover from your injury. What do you hope happens? What do you? I mean, I know that there's been a lot of stupid discussion, frankly, on how specific people's demands should be and how the strategy should proceed. But what do you want your fellow occupiers to accomplish? What do you think the movement can accomplish?
I want them, more than anything, is to get more people involved, because politics isn't something that you sit at home and go out once every few years and vote. And it's about creating a community with your people and sharing ideas and meeting people and learning their story.
Scott Olsen, Iraq War veteran, Occupy protester, thank you for your time. I really, I know it's a big deal and sort of an ordeal in order to do this sort of thing, and I really appreciate you speaking out, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.